I came to a personal relationship with Jesus Christ because of a crisis. A couple of weeks after I graduated from high school, I was in a really bad boating accident that nearly took my life. I spent the summer after my graduation from high school in a hospital in Denver, Colorado, most of it in the intensive care unit. But when I got out of the hospital, I picked up a Bible that my closest friend in the world had given me. She became a Christian a couple of years before that. At the time, I remember being kind of put off by what I thought was fanaticism. But after the boating accident, I was ready to hear what it was about Jesus that she was so crazy about. And I read the Gospels, and I fell in love with that Jesus that she told me about. I spent probably the next few years pretty much focused on personal, individual relationship with Christ. And for sure, that is still one of the most meaningful things to me about the Christian faith. But man, it's so much bigger than that. So much bigger. It's God's story: creation, fall, redemption, restoration. The story of God is the story from the beginning of time till the very end of time. I think it's tragic, both for our witness and also for the sake of God's mission in the world, when we reduce the gospel to merely things that matter to us individually. Mark Laberton, who's president of Fuller Theological Seminary, talks about how before he became a Christian, his biggest fear was that it would make him small, make his life small, less loving, less joyful, less creative, less everything. He said he'd met enough Christians that were the incarnation of that to have convinced him that that was true. So when he came to a Christian faith of his own, when he was in college, it was because he became convinced that actually becoming a Christian and walking with Christ would save him from the very smallness that he had so feared. That the very essence of the gospel of the kingdom of God is that in it he would find a life that would be larger than he would be able to find anywhere else. I started really a growing edge in my own life, in particularly the bigness of the gospel, when I was pastor of an inner city church in downtown Phoenix. During my ministry there, we began a ministry to the homeless and another ministry to at-risk kids. We spent time regularly with people who were in this country illegally, drug addicts, prostitutes, people whose lives were so different from mine. Part of our evangelism was developing relationships with these people that were relationships of trust. And you know what was so incredible to me about this whole time was I was putting together the fact that Jesus, when he was on this earth, healed people and fed people and cast out demons. And that Christians do the same thing, because when Jesus did it, he was demonstrating that the kingdom of God is right here, right now. And when we do deeds that witness to the kingdom's power, as well as then put words to it, we're actually demonstrating the power of the kingdom of God here, right now. You know, when we witness to Jesus, we're not merely giving people a ticket to get into heaven. What we're doing is showing them that the transformative power of Christ is available right now and at work right now. And so we love well, and we see people that other people don't see, and we advocate for people that need an advocate. We open doors for people that need an open door. We are hospitable, we're gracious, we're forgiving. Friends, if you want a life that is big, not small, dive deep into the holistic ministry of Jesus.